we have this corporate sustainability due diligence directive, which the parliament passed as a resolution. They already voted on this, and they asked the commission to formally propose a policy that could be voted on in detail, right? When this is voted on in detail, then it would be a matter of, okay, give it an upvote or a downvote, and it becomes law in the European Union. So what would happen under this CSDDD is it would incorporate very extreme ESG metrics into law that would govern every business that operates within the purview of the European Union and their entire value chain. Now, value chain is a phrase that is a little bit of a gray area, because you might be thinking, well, is that a supply chain? What exactly is a value chain? A value chain is broader than a supply chain. It is anyone who is tangentially related to these business. It might mean any activity by the company. It might mean operations. It might mean business relationships. It might mean banking relationships, investments that the company has made. And then it's sort of like direct supply chain stuff too, like suppliers and distributors, actual business partners, literally anybody that you do business with. So what this would do, this new provision, CSDDD, would require all of those businesses to adhere to very strict ESG related metrics. ESG being the enforcement mechanism of communist DEI ideology done in the name of climate change. Now, this would impact American companies because we do business with Europe. We do tons of business with Europe. American companies are both the suppliers for European entities. They import things from European countries for our businesses here. That would also be impacted. We are constantly trading with Europe. And so what would happen is European companies would be forced to either drop American companies who didn't adhere to these ESG metrics from being business partners, which would cause American companies, or the American economy. It would wreak havoc on the American economy, or American companies would be forced to toe the line to the ESG metrics that are coming out of the European Union. Now, like I said, this is a little bit different than the other provision that passed in December, which required businesses that were actively doing business within the European Union of a certain revenue to adhere to certain ESG metrics. This is much broader, much wider ranging, much more dangerous, because it could impact any of us. Think about any company here in the United States. They probably have a branch. If it's a medium size or a large company, they probably have a branch in Europe. If it's a small company and it's not just a mom and pop shop right here, maybe it is a mom and pop shop. Where do you get your food? Where do you get your products? Anything that touches the European Union would have to be screened for these ESG ratings. This is, I mean, it's a travesty for Europe, for one thing. I mean, it's awful to see what's happening to them. I know a lot of people might say, well, Europe elected these people. They're the ones that got into the European Union. So sorry about your luck. But it's so much worse how it impacts us here, because this is an actual way to bypass our democratic process. It's a way to bypass state legislatures, which are actively trying right now to ban ESG in the United States. It's a way to bypass our federal government, our laws against this kind of Marxist ideology and discrimination against anyone who dissents. This was crafted in a way that knowingly will change the entire US economy and remake it into a Marxist entity.